Greetings and welcome to Star Trek Discovery Pod, a sometimes funny, trying to be smart podcast covering all things new and classic Trek. Bones, that's not helping the situation. I am your Captain Mariah Gossett. With me on the view screen we have
Clyde Haynes. Rawr!
And you got caca, Paul. Touch it.
Huzzah! Yes, tonight we are talking about the last two episodes of season 1 of the animated series, The Eye of the Beholder, which is written by David P. Harmon, as well as the Jihad, written by Stephen Candle. Before we dive in, just a couple of reminders. Paul, where can people find links to all the ways to get involved with our stuff?
Well, you can come to StarTrekPod.co where you can subscribe to our podcast, like on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. So StarTrekPod.co. And if you'd like to join our Patreon, you get access to our amazing Slack community. Okay, no, we Slack, we Discord yet?
We Slack.
Slack.
We over on the Slacks, yes. Only so many things I can have downloaded on my computer. If y'all are more interested in Discord, though, sound off. Let us know. Tell us if you would be more inclined to hang out with us if it was on Discord rather than Slack. Happy
we love
to
the
make
feedback.
That jump. We love the feedback. We appreciate the feedback. And Clyde, if people are hanging out with us live on YouTube this evening, how should they tell us they have a question or comment, or they want us to dive into hot dog talk?
Oh, hot dog
Braille.
talk.
Just like write it in Braille. We'll close our eyes and we'll fumble through it, and that's how
you can write in condiments. Oh,
you could write in condiments. Yes, and we'll have a whole secret condiment code. Ketchup will mean one thing, mustard will mean something else, mayonnaise will mean get out of the pod.
Oh, I had a good remoulade last night with some crab cakes. It was delightful.
That sounds great. See, we got our food pod talk in right at the beginning. I love how we do it. Now we don't have to wait. There's no surprises. We got your food talk in right there at the beginning. No, seriously, type capital P, capital O, capital D, capital pod in the chat, and we'll take a look at your comment, your question, your fan theory, your wild theories. We'll take a look at all that. It's a great way to let us know that you want us to zone in on specifically what you're talking about.
Indeed. Okay. Well, I think it is time for us to give some thoughts, some opinions, some quick takes. You could call those things hot breaks. You could call them hot breaks. Paul, what did you think of these two episodes? Yeah.
I have to say that I really enjoyed the writing in these episodes. I think there was really a lot of banter that has been missing in the last 4 or so episodes, where I'm going this is ridiculous, but it's not helpful, Bones. Kind of, it felt like
there's
rather
some good ribbing, if you will.
Yeah, it feels like rather than just let me here's some plot. Here's some dialogue that will reiterate the plot. More dialogue that it felt like relationship-ables. They were in relationships, so I think both of them had that feeling in a way of oh, okay, I can listen to this now. I can watch this.
Clyde, what about you?
I gotta say, little different than Paul. I don't know, the first episode, I made the mistake of reading the tagline, and that put me in a certain mood because I was like, not another zoo/menagerie episode. I've seen a bunch of these. Here we go again.
I mean, this is kind of the OG one, though, if you think about it.
It was, and it was
the menagerie would be the
the menagerie, yes. And there were some cute elements with the baby alien thing, but by and large, I was kind of like, all right, I'm watching it. And then the second episode was more interesting. It was, to me, that was fascinating. It was fascinating. It does feel like they're starting to catch their wind a little bit, because to me it's like a whodunit. And what's interesting is I got it wrong. So
I also got it wrong. So we'll dig into that in a second. But
what?
Yes.
I like by the anyway, who I thought it was going to be based on tropes of the
Exactly.
time period was not who I thought it ended up
Oh,
being.
do you guys hate women?
It's just the figure
No.
the time
Did you,
period hated
did you
women.
guys hate women? Because
No, but
No,
you clearly
the rule of
listen.
media is if you are horny, you die first. So it's
Yes.
either like
Yes.
like
I
you guys,
was like,
I'm
she
disappointed.
keeps offering the cookie
I'm
to Kirk.
I'm
This is a distractive
I
principle.
am disappointed. She has a good sense of direction, and she owns her sexuality. And you
She
guys are like,
does.
by the
bad
end,
guy, bad guy.
Hey.
because those are classic tropes of a bad guy.
Yes.
Good with
So I was
direction.
delightfully surprised. I was.
I mean, I
right.
loved her
surprised.
forwardness, and I mean, I did think, I did the watch along
Mhm.
with our patrons, and the idea that like they had to remind me that this was a kid show, and I was
Yeah.
like, it's a lot
Is
of
it
green
though?
memory talk for Saturday morning. Like,
That's right.
I don't know about this.
Yes. We'll start with the Eye of the Beholder, which, if you haven't watched, is essentially, like we were saying, the zoo episode. Kirk and Spock go down to, and Bones go down to rescue a group of scientists who have gone missing, only to discover a planet full of dinosaurs, which they've only ever seen on. I thought they said Cannabis 3 the whole time. They were like, I've only ever seen these on Cannabis 3, but it's like Canna-puss, like is how it's spelt.
So what
It's
you're
not much
saying
better.
is
It's not much better. It's just
what you're
you-
saying is our conversation last week
Oh,
about
was
what's
spot on.
happening was
Yeah.
clearly spot on.
Clearly
This
spot
is
on.
was like, what we should do? We should disguise what we're doing in the episode. Just
Yes.
how should we do that? Change a letter. Just one.
Just
They'll never
one.
get it.
Never gonna get it. Yes, planets full of dinosaurs, which I will say my spouse brought up a good point about how, don't you think in Star Trek they should technically encounter more planets with dinosaurs on it, since our planet started with dinosaurs?
No. No.
But they only ever encounter humanoids. Like, shouldn't there also be some planets that are at the phase of evolution where it's just dinosaurs?
Like, no. It's
Why?
not because it just happened to be that
It
fish.
took us longer to get out of the water.
Oh no, fish went to lizards, went to birds, went to mammals. Like, I don't know if it was a necessary step to go, oh well, we're gonna go to big lizard. Does that make sense? Like, it can go any way. It's just what
Well, I mean, technically dinosaurs and birds are almost the same.
well, sure. Like
So don't they now say they were all like covered in feathers?
some I imagine. Not the
I guess
ones.
Chupi brings up a good point. The animated series has a lot of pterodactyls.
Yeah, this is the feeling of a bunch of adults writing and going, hey, does anybody know what kids like? Hey, I got a kid. He likes dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's put a bunch of dinosaurs in the show. And that's about the extent that they did their research on what kids like. Like, that was about it.
Anyway, but the point is, in this episode, they eventually get lured into a zoo run by the Lactrons, which look like giant slugs with a prehensile nose, where they have to try to figure out a way to escape. And lo and behold, these creatures are very telepathic, so much so I was like, I wonder what they like imagined, because they're like, their thoughts are just so fast. And I'm like, is it like scrolling TikTok fast, or is it like scrambled TV station fast? You know what I mean?
It reminded me of the creatures in Discovery season 4, where like it's like, oh, they're just too incomprehensible.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
I thought that was interesting. I also I'm like, what made this lady so sick? Like malaria or something? There was one crew member of the other side. Anyway, but they end up communicating. Huh?
Was she a bad guy?
No. She's not a bad guy. Yeah, anyway, so they have to figure out a classic to communicate with these creatures in order to get off the planet. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I
No
didn't
worries.
mean to yawn. Apologies to viewers and listeners. Yeah, I mean, this one, like, to your point, I thought there was more fun banter between like Kirk, Spot, and Bones, especially when they have to like dig him out from underneath the dinosaur tail.
Yep. I mean, like I'm gonna say the plot itself trash. You know,
Okay.
like I don't think the plot is really that clever, but the journey was like, it's like driving to Barstow. Like, I'm not gonna really go like, oh hey, I want to go to Barstow. There's an In-N-Out there that's gonna be so good. But if I'm going with the right people, I'll go to Barstow to hang out, and that's what it felt like. Like three people who should not be following a mission where like people have disappeared again and again, and you're the three most important people on the Enterprise. But whatever, and you go down and you go like, oh, we're trapped too. but it seemed like the banter was such that like, oh, I could see me and my boys like going down to Crazy Planet.
Yeah, that kept like switching environments. And then
exactly.
I thought it was really funny when they were like, no, the water is too pure.
It's too pure. That's right. Like, it's like the Genesis planet in like Star Trek 3. Like, here's a desert and here's a rainforest, and they're right next to each other.
Mm-hmm. What did y'all think of the Loctren design, our little slug creatures?
I mean, like there's no, I don't have a word for, oh, I'm disappointed or I'm really
I'm like,
impressed.
how did they sneak up on them?
Like, because they're slugs. Like, basically the
they're just
slugs evolved first, and then there was never evolutionary pressure to to develop anything else. So the slugs had millions and millions of years to develop into these telepathic, like, super slugs that
Mhm.
think real fast and can create like whatever, like, ecosystems next to each other.
Listen, I think animals that have trunks are kind of cool. Like
Mhm.
if you think about elephants and the ability to like grab things. If I'm being completely honest, a trunk with fingers on the end was just creepy. Like it was just creepy. Like it was just like what are you doing? Like
But,
just,
I don't know, like, an elephant with tongs.
just,
Essentially.
just yeah.
I did like that essentially they were like, oh, like the kids speak slowly enough that they could essentially
Sure.
understand or telepathied slow enough for
Love it. Yeah.
them to understand. But also wild that Scotty was just like letting this slug like roam around the Enterprise.
It's like, hey,
Well,
don't do that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I'm a big fan of Mr. Scott, but when they panned to him the first time when he was like, beam us down, Mr. Scott, I looked over and for the first time in his life, Scotty looked jacked, like just like swole. Like I was like, when did like he got pecs and abs? Like that's not the Scotty I know.
Like, can you imagine what kind of steroids they must have?
They must. It must be great.
They must be like, some pretty good. Anyway.
Although
it's like if you were all juice, no shrinkage. I mean, those are the steroids that you got.
Well, and I imagine you could probably get 100 guys to beat up a space gorilla.
Oh my
God. I would imagine though, if you're an actor, it would be fun to be like, okay, well, we're gonna make my ideal physique in my animated version of myself.
Oh man, I mean, no doubt, I'd be a foot taller with a 9-pack. I'm just saying.
I'm just like, I don't know if you're allowed to copy the likeness of Idris Elba without his permission.
I mean,
like you've mentioned this on
tomorrow.
The pod.
I'm just saying, if I woke up and I looked like Idris, I'd be like,
yeah. You be in the mirror, and go like, I deserve this.
Yeah, I'd be like, yes, this is
correct.
This is great.
Yeah, I was like, you could do like pull a Michael B. Jordan a la Sinners, and then just be twins.
Tomorrow, don't.
Okay, we won't talk about it.
Well, I will say that like the poster work has 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, knowing that he's a twin doesn't spoil anything. You literally find out in the first second, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
tomorrow.
Okay.
But I'm excited you're seeing it tomorrow. And as soon as you see it, you should text Paul and I so we can all talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tried to see it last week and I just did not have the time.
Because it was so good. I've been trying to see if I can find anywhere that's playing it in 70 millimeter around me.
Everybody is telling me you got to see it.
I think it's coming back in 7 Miller on the 15th.
Oh, really?
Like,
I wonder if it'll be.
You might be able to see it here.
Like, yeah, I'll be able to see it in Los Angeles at the Vista. Yeah. That would be great.
Maybe not the
the Vista had it in 70.
Oh well, then it might still be there.
That would be great. Anyway, tangent time. If y'all haven't seen Sinners, it's really good. Highly
Welcome
recommend.
to Sinners Talk, where we talk about all things
no
horror
spoilers.
And
yeah.
Well, here's the real question, though. The real question is,
question.
What did you eat when you watched Sinners? Did you have popcorns? Did you have a hot dog? And if you had a hot dog, did you have condiments or nachos? I'm just saying, if this is going to be hot dog talk, and we're going to bring in Sinners, the question is, do you eat in the movie theaters?
I will say there is an incredible looking meal within Sinners.
So there you go.
Of fried catfish that looked delectable and crispy.
I do love a good fried catfish.
Yes. I didn't have any snacks when I saw it. I just had a Diet Coke because I went after dinner. So,
Paul, did you have?
I don't eat when I watch movies or drink because I think they make noise, and I'm really courteous to the people around me. Like, I think people who eat like all their stuff and they're really loud and they're just terrible people.
I don't typically eat, but that's
not
because
here we are.
I don't typically eat in the theater because I think that the theater prices are way jacked up and the quality is not good unless I'm in Texas and I'm at an Alamo.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm definitely going to get like an alcoholic shake and a burger.
Oh, maybe if we do that, like when maybe I'll go to Alamo, like when I'm in Austin.
Oh yeah, we can go to a draft house.
Okay. I would say this, just out of
was he like? I think Sinners is more of a corn dog movie.
I will say that the food doesn't really bother me. What really bothers me is someone mid-movie decides to open up a packet of anything and they're having a hard time opening up wrappers in the movie. And I'm a big believer that if you have whatever packet you need to open, Sour Patch Kids or whatever, open it before the movie starts.
Yeah, I also don't understand. I end up eating almost all of my snacks in previews.
Yes,
that's my problem.
To me, that like if you're gonna eat during a movie, it's the early part of it.
Yeah.
Right. Preferably previews, but to start eating in the beginning of the third act just seems like cruel and insensitive to the people around you. About 2/3 in, let's go with the wrapper.
Yeah, I wanted to this is a total sidebar, but I got to go see Cabaret on Broadway a couple of weeks ago, which was really fun. It was with Orville Peck as the MC. Also highly recommend if you're in the New York area. It's incredible. It's a great staging. And for better or for worse, they've really set it up like it's like a nightclub. So there's all these bars everywhere and stuff. But once you're in the theater, you're in the theater, right? But it means people have glasses with ice in them. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what possessed the people sitting next to me, but there's big musical numbers throughout this show. There's plenty of opportunity to sip your beverage, chew your ice, whatever. And it's not going to really bother me when the whole shebang is happening. The other part of this play is that it's very intense, quiet scenes about surviving Nazi Germany. And the people next to me would just swirl their ice and crunch their ice in all of those quiet moments.
I love it.
And I was like, I'm going to murder you.
Well, they're going oh, this is how they do it. More Nazi.
Yeah, I was like, I see you are on the side of the fascists. Your ice chewing right now. Anyway, theater etiquette, people. Let's bring it back. Upon our departure here, our crew does eventually get out of the menagerie zoo. I thought this episode had some really cool background paintings. I thought both of these episodes were refreshing in that it did actually feel like we had new pieces of animation, because I felt like quite a few in the middle had a lot of repeats. And I thought Eye of the Beholder had a lot of these really cool landscape pieces that I sometimes wish they didn't pan away from so quickly, because that the forests and stuff were really cool. And that also brings us to the Jihad, which also had a bunch of cool like background things. So I don't think I've ever really heard about the Vidalia area, or they go to the Vidalia asteroid, and they have to find the soul of Score, so that they don't start a giant holy war. And I thought it was like, I liked the premise of a team up, which was fun. I also liked we got a bunch of wild different species, most of which are never identified besides the skull. Yeah, the Score. Specifically, so we have Sword, which I also was like, some of these names are all too similar, but fine. Which is just, it says unknown reptilian. He's just like a humanoid.
Fleestack.
Huh?
A Fleestack from Land of the Lost.
It is very that. I'm obsessed though with M3 Green, the weird little lockpick bug guy.
Kill bug.
He was hysterical. All of his lines were so just like, I'm ready to give up now. Like, I was like,
it's like having so Eeyore and the Ocean's 11 crew. Like,
yes.
like
he was happening? So, and then when they just like carried him like a little bug baby through half of the thing. Anyway, so if you haven't seen it, the episode is essentially a team up because there's a religious artifact that's been stolen. They must get it back, or else a giant holy war is going to break out from the most powerful warriors in the universe. A species we have never heard of before or after this episode, I believe. They're the bird creatures, but they're not like the ones from you know, that Peanut Hamper hooked up with. So
like it's not that they're so powerful. It's like they can breed so quickly.
Yeah. Yes. Very Borg-like, like tons of numbers, right? But I thought the cat oracle that essentially summons them was kind of a funny little creature too, who also sent them off to this planet with magical teleportation powers. But what I couldn't understand was like, they teleported, they got there, and then they just had like a dune buggy. Like, why wouldn't you just have a shuttle? It seems like it would have been so much faster.
Here's what I'm learning. I'm learning that this writing room was a lot of fun. Like, they were having a good time writing these shows. Just saying, it was a lot of free flowing stuff, and they're having a good time. It was not a boring place to be.
You ever watch Star Trek 10? That's the one with Tom Hardy as Shinzon.
Shinzon, yeah.
Yeah. So they go to a planet to find Data's older brother, oldest brother, B4, and they're in a bunch of like off-roading vehicles, as opposed to, I don't know, a shuttle or whatever. And the way that they the behind the scenes is like, Patrick Stewart wanted to do some off-roading.
But this is the animated. We don't have like a star who's like, I just want to do this thing.
But maybe they had a celluloid of like a dude buggy, and they're just like, oh well.
They're like, we have a car we can kind of update to look like a dune buggy. Let's stick them in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the team up was fun. I liked that most of the team got their like moment to shine in some way. And then this was our huntress. She was really Amorous. She was very singularly motivated and didn't seem to take much of a different tactic every time she tried. No. It was just like, we're here and we're hot, so let's make green memories.
You would think that she would, mix up her approach a little bit, but no. Why? It was. I mean, because it wasn't paying off. So coming from a different angle.
Like her name was Laura.
Like Laura. As not a woman, I imagine there are many women out there who would say, I've seen guys come at me with the same thing over and over and over again without switching up, their tactic at all.
They're just going to try to wear you down.
That's right. And so I look at that and go like, she's from a planet where there are more women than there are
I
men.
guess that's true. So they only really know one tactic.
And then she's just like going like, "Let's do it," and Kirk's like, "No." The one time in Kirk's whole life where he goes,
she's not
never,
blonde. His weakness is blonde space babes.
Nothing. Like, like, hey, you sure you don't want to do it? Nah, that's okay.
And then I liked the idea when he's like, I got plenty of green memories.
That's
being
right.
like the spank bank Rolodex is deep in Kirk.
I'm like,
granted, it might not be the appropriate time to get it on. They are on a crazy planet.
I know. I'm just like, when does she think this is going to happen? It's not like there's like a scene where they're all like by a fire having to spend the night before they like move on to the next thing. It's like it's pretty go the whole time.
But I also thinking like, how quickly do you think Kirk is going to take?
I mean, clearly not very long, but also I'm looking at Kirk and going, dude, you look to have green memories with all of these aliens whose anatomy you're kind of unsure about. This is a human, right? This is a human.
That's why he probably doesn't care as much, because he's not as boldly going as he normally would be, where no one has gone before.
Yeah, I mean, she's a humanoid, right? Because she's
human.
No, she says she's human. She says she was human
with an impeccable sense of direction. Like,
all right.
I'm a person who says that I'm a fan of women, and my choices demonstrate that.
I was really obsessed with her eyebrows, though. I think that'd be a really fun cosplay if I was ever a person who wasn't lazy.
like yeah, you get Colossus. Who are you? You're Laura. And you're like, who?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm Laura the Huntress.
Maybe
that's a deep cut. That's a deep cut.
That's right. I have an impeccable sense of direction.
Do you want to make some green memories?
That's right. Oh, that'd be really interesting. Like you're on the Star Trek cruise, and you dress up as Lara, and like it's just a signal going, "Hey, I'm here. I'm down to clown, everyone."
Like, are those like little like stickers you can put on the cruise? Like if you're looking to make green memories.
That's right. Oh, I love it.
See, before you guys took it there, I was thinking, I wonder if this is a cosplay that Giraffe could pull off. But then I can't say that because you guys are talking about stickers and.
I'm just saying, like, it could be.
I'm like, if I say that now, Giraffe is gonna be like, Clyde, no.
No. She'd also be like, I'm not gonna deal with that much fur. Like,
that's right.
But yeah, they eventually go through all these like trial and tribulations of like
lava dodging and blah blah blah.
Snow. They, through fire, sleet, and snow, they like the postal service will still get the mail delivered. And they make it to the little doorway where they finally get to use M3 Green's lock picking specialities.
Big old 6 hands.
His little 6 hands, and he gets them in. And then I don't know. To me, the spatial creation they made I was like, it looks like y'all can just walk over to this thing. Why do you need to climb?
You could, but it was floating, and so they needed to go on. It needed to go high on the wall to get it because it was floating.
But like you couldn't just like grab. It just
high.
Seems like you could just like grab it. It didn't seem that high at all.
Well, there you go. Well,
I did laugh when M3 Green was picking the lock and stopped to go, it's on a timer.
It's gonna blow up.
If I don't do it, I was like, then why are you talking about this?
If I don't do it in a specific amount of time, it's gonna blow up. Oh no!
Well, you just wasted 30 seconds telling us that. Like,
it was very like if Larry David was a character on Star Trek.
Yeah, no, it was really funny. Like this
was a fun episode. Like I did enjoy it.
All the characters had a choice. They made choices, and but whatever.
And then our Skull essentially is the one who stole it because he's like, I want us back to being crazy warmongery people.
Yeah, it could only be so many people, and I could guarantee you it wasn't Spock or Kirk.
Yeah, right. So then you're just like, okay. And it would break my heart if it was M3 Green. I would have been really sad about it, especially after he was like, I cannot go on. I've lost all hope.
Carry me like a baby.
Carry me like a baby.
The ending though threw me. They were like, "What's gonna happen to him to score?" And she's like,
Therapy.
"Oh yeah, we fixed him." Like what?
Well, she was like, he has to go through therapy. They're like, to get rid of his
madness.
His
madness.
Yeah.
You know, are you anti-therapy, Clyde? That's weird.
No, I'm definitely pro therapy, but it seemed quick. Like it was like, oh yeah, it's just we're gonna fix him up real good. Like
but they're space foxes with magic powers.
Yes, true. Of all the things, that's probably the easiest thing to believe.
And then they were zapped right back onto the ship for Sulu to be like, y'all were only gone for like 2 minutes. It was very The Wizard of Oz, you know.
or Contact.
Or Contact, yes.
Yes.
Not the flu medication, but
the Jodie Foster movie. Yeah. But yeah, I think these 2 episodes to me were fun. It definitely helped, I think, push through because there was definitely a lull for me in the middle of this season. So I'm glad we ended on some higher notes.
Yeah, like I think maybe that they just recorded in the same room. Like, you know, I think like there was a point where they like the acting is different in these 2.
Yeah, it felt more snappy, less like a line. I said a line.
Yeah, opposed, and I don't know if it was simply like they may not have like been in the room together, but maybe they had some other people read with them.
Yeah, like, maybe they got like a different like voice. Maybe they finally had like a voiceover director in the room with them or something.
Sure. Or maybe like, you know, or maybe they got better AI.
Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. Any other thoughts about this first season?
The first season, this is interesting. Like, I feel that I appreciate this more than I did before. Like, we've had Paramount Plus for a while.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have I explored the anime series? Zero. You know why? Because I go like, it's probably dumb, and the answer is, let's be clear, it's sort of dumb, but it's still Star Trek, and you know, if you're in the right mood, you know, and you get in the right frame of mind, it can be fun.
Yeah, I thought right now there's like there's a funny like TikTok trend where it's like it's people who are like, oh, I'm just going to put this on while I clean. And it's a lot of people who put on like the animated series. And then you just kind of get stuck watching something in front of your TV. You're like holding your Swiffer and you're you've stopped like mid and you're like, oh, I guess I'll finish. I'll kind of watch this scene. And I've seen a lot of Star Trek on that one. I thought that was fun.
So I'm gonna be just clear.
Okay. Crystal.
There are times where I'm like, there's nothing on TV I really feel moved about watching. I just want to kind of throw something on. And I will throw on an episode of Star Trek, right? I'll throw on an episode, one of my episode I know well in TNG, maybe something I haven't seen very much of in Voyager, or I throw in DS9 and be like, yo, I kind of want to see this arc, right? This is not going to be one of those things that I do. Right? I'm not going back to this. That being said, I do appreciate the fact that I am seeing something that I haven't really explored before. It's part of canon. It's weird at times and seems unorganized at others, but it is part of the Star Trek universe. And I am appreciating what was done. Right? And when I focus and remember that there's a lot of things happening, like this is supposed to be a children's show. This happened at this point, what we're talking 50 years ago. It's kind of impressive when you look back and go, they did it. Like at the end of the day, they put 2 seasons of an animated show on a Saturday morning cartoon referencing a show that had nothing to do with children whatsoever. They actually did it. So there's a certain amount of respect and appreciation I have for this show. And I'm hoping that season 2 is going to be even better than season 1.
Yeah. So there's only 6 episodes in season 2. So, and I know we still haven't actually, I don't think we still haven't gotten a date for Strange New Worlds. I do think I prefer doing at least 2 episodes at a time just because they're short. So I think we'll keep doing that, and then we'll kind of see what we want to do after the animated series. We can,
if you've got ideas, send them through.
Send them our way. Is there a series you want us to take a revisit to? Maybe we can do a bunch of holodeck episodes because it looks like we're getting some like alt universe stuff shenanigans coming up. I know they technically don't have holodecks yet, but there's a lot of like Ren Fair outfits in the trailer. So something's going awry.
We should do a Ren Fair theme, like all the episodes that they're like dressed up in, like that you go like, oh, this would be
time period garb.
Exactly, but more like medieval time period garb. Even if like it's like that one where Data like loses his memory because he had exploding radioactive mineral. Do you remember that one, Clyde?
Vaguely, I remember the one where Barkley has everybody in the holodeck.
Yep, that's one.
And Troy is like, "What world have you done?
I am the goddess of empathy."
That would be fun. Yeah, maybe we can do that as a series. Let us know. Tell us in the Slack or send us a message on social medias. Yeah, we'll see. This next series, I did notice, I don't think there's any episodes written by women coming up. And then this next season is all directed by Bill Reed. So we will see how Bill takes up the helm from Hal Sutherland, who directed all of this season.
All right, Billy.
Cool.
Taking it down. Anything else to say about this first season of the animated series?
Thank you for taking this journey with us, everyone.
We appreciate it.
Yes.
Maybe we'll get some food episodes next season. I do see we're starting with the Pirates of Orion.
Ooh, I like Pirates of Orion.
I like Orion.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll be a fun one.
Okay. Any chance it's sexy green cartoons?
I'm assuming so. Yes. I'm assuming it's going to be kid-friendly, sexy green cartoon.
Well, we know what the limit is.
Very kid-friendly.
Like kid-friendly is basically, would you like to share some green memories with me?
Yes.
That is my new line.
These are the upcoming green memories. This is a Ryan episode.
If I find myself single and at a Star Trek convention of anything, excuse me, would you like to create some green memories with me? And I would guarantee you that like a lot of people are gonna go, what? But that one person who says yes,
they're gonna be like, bet.
Like
bet.
it's gonna get hot.
Paul, you're right. There is somebody that is such a deep cut for that's gonna connect.
In such a way.
It's such a way.
Oh, that's hot, dude. You are the hottest guy here. I'm glad you recognize that.
And on that note, we will see you all next week for episodes 1 and 2 of season 2 of the animated series, The Pirates of Orion and Beam. We'll see how I'm supposed to pronounce that. Until next time, guys, live long and prosper. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mata hasta.